it's Greg here. In this video, we're going to be building a body cart for the Chevelle. Yeah, the one that's up in the air. Here's the finished product. There's a lot of different ways you could have did it, but that is the way I did it, and I explained why I did certain things in the video. So I've already started the cart there. I've got the majority of the wood cut to size. All right, for my measurements. Okay, for my measurements, 32 inches is as high as I could get the body up off the ground due to the back one there. I could probably get a couple more inches, but I'd have to drop it and start over and that type of thing, and I don't want to put any more pressure pulling the back, those side cell panel areas in. So we're gonna go with what we got, and it'll clear the chassis no problem. Not with an engine, but okay. So I have 7-inch casters, 4 of them. Each 4x4 is 3.5 inches wide, not 4, and there'll be 3 height stacks of them. So the bottom legs, all right, so this is upside down, but that's a bottom leg. It's 70. So the bottom legs are 87 inches. Now you could go longer, but you can't really go shorter. The cross beams, the ones that are going to go this direction, they're on the ground. I'm doing 84 inches, and that will clear. I'm hoping it's enough. And then we have, for the front, this board that goes across is 58 inches. On the back, it's only 51 inches because those body mounts are actually closer, and I am putting the body mounts there under where the back seat is, not the ones that are up. Let me just show you on here on the frame. So on mine, I don't have a trunk. Otherwise, I'd have it here. But I can't. There's no trunk. It won't sit on it. And no, that lip, right here is where it'd be. So I have nothing to support the body at that location. So what I'm doing here and here, and then I'm having them long enough so I can do a leg here if and when at a later date I need it. That'll still be long enough, and I'll just build a new legs. I am using 6-inch lag bolts, screws here. I'm doing 2. I think 2 will be sufficient. They're 3/8 inch, and I have plenty of them. And you're gonna need, obviously, a drill and such, and I will show you how I am doing the drilling. And if I remember, hopefully I will show you the completed and put that at the beginning of the video. Did I do that? Okay, so I have 2 really long drill bits. This one is a 3/8. It's a 3/8 inch lag bolt. And I'm putting 2 holes, not like right here and here. I don't want it too close to the edges. Otherwise you won't have any, it's likely to split. Hopefully it won't hit any knots. I'm glad I went the direction I did. All right. Okay, I've already done the other side, the other end. So now, line the board up exactly where I want it. And again, this is how I do it. There are other ways. I'm now switching. This is I think it's a 5/16. It's the next size down. And you'll notice I got a piece of tape here that just happens to correspond with the lag bolt size. Now we're gonna drill to there, and if it slows down too much, just bring it up. You'll pull out all the chips. Three-eighths inch uses a 9/16 head socket. And see my head here. And this is upside down. I should have mentioned that. This is the top side. I'll do the same on the other end. All right, so I've got both of these done. And if I didn't mention, if you're using the ones in the trunk, they're going to be back here. That's why it's that long. So you would just do it here, and yes, you would need longer legs because that's higher up. All right, so now I got the boards that'll be going across. And I go ahead and mark 3.5 inches so I have a visual. Just helps me find the best spot. Hopefully your boards won't be wet. I got these several months ago, so they're pretty dry. All right, I'm gonna go through the other 3 corners doing the exact same thing. All right, I have measured from here to here. Can't see that one. Across both directions, 107.5 inches. That's what mine is. If you're doing the same thing I am, which may be unlikely, you know, unless you're doing that other body mount location, yours will be the same, but it's got to be, they got to equal so that it's square. Okay, so now set that on top, and I will mention there's no guarantee when you get this on top that this is going to be exact. It should be really close. If your bottom board is twisted or your legs are warped, then it may be just slightly off. Mine is perfect there. Oh, let me show you what happened on this one. I was pushing a little too hard on this one when I drilled it. I broke a chunk out. That, you don't want that to be, you don't want to put it in this way because of that. I mean, you could, I guess, but I'm going to put it in this way so that the washer and head of the bolt have a nice flat surface. Now the reason you want this good and square is because once you drill these in, they're not moving. And mine is not quite on this side. What you can do, another thing to do, in fact, this would be easier. Do this. Line this up where it's nice and square. Put those two in. And do the same at that one or on that one, just not both ends of the same one. And then line them up on the ends you haven't done, and then square it. That'll give you enough. That'll give you enough flex so that you get it. You'll have just a slight bit of movement, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Okay, it's good. Okay, now back to the smaller drill bit. I didn't. The lag bolts. So are they lag bolts or lag screws? Let me know in the comments. I'll do the opposite corner. Okay, I got that corner done and that corner done. This one and that one are not. I'm going to remeasure because that is sticking out a bit. $107 1/4. That tells me it's not quite square anymore. $107 1/2. Well, we're actually not that far off. Just a quarter. So what I need to do is tap this. Now that's 107 1/4. Make sure it stays where it's supposed to be. And that's 107. Went just a tad bit too far. Just a touch too far. Honestly, you're good there, but all right, 107 and a long quarter. 107 and a long quarter. Okay. I'm hoping to get this body on the cart tonight. It's getting, time's running out on me. All right, I already know I didn't. Okay. And yeah, you'll get wood chips in your shoes. So I start one into this, and then I go to the next one. And I have two into that bottom board. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing there. Okay, so what I have done is I have centered these, front one and the back one. I've centered them now, and I've drew a line right there and there. I don't want the heads of the bolts to stick up here, so unless I'm going to recess them, I need to put them in from the other side, the bottom side. So what I'm going to do, I've marked it. Down. Now I'm going to do the same where I did before, 3.5, so I have a visual. One there, one there. One there, and there. All right, and hopefully you drew your lines on the inside, the next line on the inside. So now I'm going to drill the hole in with the 3/8. That'll get me a mark. I'm doing it on all 4 spots. And just FYI, this was 16.5 from here to here, the outside, and it was 13.1/8 there on both sides. So now we got to put bolts in from the other side. I think it'd be just a little easier to flip it over. Okay, you remember which one went where? I should have extended the mark, the location mark, to the side of that board. Would have been a lot easier to see. You get a square. Oh, something I will mention while I'm thinking about it. Make sure that these boards, test fit them under your body. Make sure they'll actually fit between the rails, the rockers. Okay. Now, do the same thing. Smaller bit. Only go into the tape so I don't go into the concrete. And you don't have to have these right at the end here, actually. These could be anywhere on here as long as they're, you got enough to hold it in place. In fact, I think I was actually going to use 3, one in the middle and one on each end here. But we'll do this. It won't hurt. It'll work fine. Next other end, then we'll go over to that one. All right, not sure you're gonna be able to see much. Caster, I have it right behind these. I marked the holes. Now, I messed up. I have 5-inch, it's gonna go right. Okay, I'm gonna have to move them over slightly. Yeah, so I got 5-inch. This is the shortest ones I got. I really needed like some 3.5-inch. What I did is I put a piece of tape on the 3/8 just for where I'm gonna start. And I'm drilling that so that this does not put pressure on the wood. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put, I gotta move it right. Should be good right at the edge here. 1 over. Of course, they always walk. Okay. Switch into the smaller bit. And go all the way through. Getting tired. It's getting dark. So this is the same day that I pulled the body off. Now we still have the bracing to put on. I don't know if I'm gonna get this done. Oh, it does clear. One down, 4 to go. The town sold out show. Okay. On this one, so normally you'd probably have it back here, the leg back here, and it'd be longer because it would go up to that trunk mount location. Mine isn't. I don't want to put it all the way back here. Be a lot of weight just pushing for no reason, and I can always move this. But I also don't want it in here because it's already going to be back heavy even with the trunk out. I don't know, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. So put it here. That'll give me enough room to put another leg on if I need that later. I don't know if that should be fine. Yeah. Let's go with that. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing, just there. Okay, all the casters are on. Now, I will say, this thing is solid. It really is. Now that being said, you really want to put in each of these corners here, 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 here. Oh, and right in there, and right in there. That is truly unfortunate right there. I didn't even think about that. You really want to have some bracing, but one of the key things is it has to fit. You got to be able to clear the chassis, the frame, with that bracing. So I'm actually going to flip this over and slide it over the chassis. It's heavy and there is no real good way to do this. Oh! Ouch! That hurt. Remember those 5-inch lag bolts or screws? Yeah, they don't feel good when you put your hand on them and try to lift. Thankfully, you feel the pain really quick. And just one little spot of blood. Okay, can I do this without breaking the casters? I don't really want to put weight at that angle. I'm trying to do, those right there, theoretically that'll, they shouldn't have as much of an angle. How you doing? Okay, here goes. There it is. There it went. Yeah. That's why I got the big casters. So it'll roll easy. I was hoping it would clear. $25 feet, 25 inches. See there, it's 32, and that's as high as I can make it. And still fit under the car. Okay, that's why I got locking casters too. So I did put some braces on it. Now, because lag bolts are coming through here, couldn't really brace this. So I braced this one, both directions, and that is really solid. On the inside, very limited on space, and I wish I could have did mine higher. The 14.5 inches is not quite enough. 15 would have been fine for mine, maybe not for yours. But I'd have to lift the car higher to get it on, and it's more of a challenge. So anyway, that limited me to the smaller size triangle here. And the difference in the sizes is, if you'll notice, this is a straight cut across the grain and a straight cut with the grain. The short ones come here. Short ones are all 45-degree angle across the grain, with the long angle being with the grain. So it's a little bigger, a little stronger. And I just have nails, are like 3-inch deck nails that are kind of got the twist so they don't just pull out. So there it is. Yep. It is done. Let me mention, I do have the front strapped down through here just to make sure that front stays down. Now with mine, I don't have a trunk or the back end pretty much at all, so I don't have a lot of weight back there. But if you do have the trunk and the full quarter panels and all that, you're going to have a lot more weight in the back. Make sure you use those frontmost trunk location for your cart, and that'll help keep it from falling backwards. But you know, be aware that there'll be more weight on the back. But as you can see, this thing, it is solid. It is solid. This is like the minimum bracing that I would use, and I may get some plywood triangles like so and screw those in so that it's got a little more, but I don't think it's going anywhere. But again, you know, do this at your own risk. This is your own risk. This is what I did. This may or may not work for you. All right, so the verse of the video, 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 10. Are you ready for this one? For even when we were with you, we used to give you this order. So Paul, the Holy Spirit through Paul, is writing this. If anyone is not willing to work, then he is not to eat either. That's right. If a man won't work, neither should he eat. Hey, when's the last time you heard that one? Probably there aren't a lot of people pushing agendas telling you that one, is there? So yeah, Bible says if a man will not work, this assumes he's capable of working, of course, then neither should he eat. Bible actually condemns laziness, slothfulness. It's condemned, but you probably don't hear that very often. All right, I do hope this was helpful. If so, please like, subscribe, comment, and God bless.